Hello! How are y'all doing this Saturday evening? Let's get in here and pray. Okay. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. We place a hedge of protection in front of us, behind us, and on top of us. You keep us safe. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Okay, you play no games. Psalms 91, you place it underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come by my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus stove and Arumala left behind. Honey, let me tell you something. God ain't never put a block in front of humans and say, you can't come to me. God said, come on, just how you are. Come on and talk to me. Humans put that rule, not God. And I'll walk in instead of fussing about what it looks like, just saying, because God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Ooh, Philippians 4. Think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep this mind stayed on God, God will keep me in perfect peace. No, it don't make no sense, because some of the stuff we go through don't make no sense, but it makes faith. Because what I have faith in, I'm going to believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on. And what I act on is going to be over in the spirit realm. Okay. Because this realm been tampered with too many times, honey. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me and I am you. God placed a small allspark of himself in our heart before we entered our mother's womb. God told Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, he said, I knew thee before you entered your mother's womb. If God said it to one, he's saying it to all of us, because God is not a respecter of person. What he say to one, he'll say to everybody else. Are you willing to do the work that that person did? Are you willing to pull yourself up and keep it moving? Are you willing to let go and let God? Are you willing to keep going no matter what you see? It requires a lot. Okay, so let's talk about it. So God places a spark in our heart. God is on the aspect of love. God is love. And because 2:22 on the clock, and because God is love, he places an aspect of love in us. So it could be a foot, it can be 40 feet, it could be 100, it could be 400 feet, it could be 1,000, it can be 2,000 feet. It could be as big as you want it to be, according to how you work it in this life. Ephesians 3:20 says God will do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask or think, according to the gift that works in us. How you believe it is how you gonna see it. How you work it every day is how you gonna see it. Are you asking yourself those questions that had you looking at yourself crazy in the mirror and a tear or two sheds? That's what I'm talking about right there. Ooh, the ones you gotta pep talk yourself to. That's not what we doing today. We finna come on in here and we finna get it like we finna get it. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. We made all this stuff to put between us and God. Priests, preachers, religion, everything. God said, you ain't no problem with it because he gave us an idea for it. However, he broke it down for Gideon. He said, don't do that. He said, because once you get a king or anything like that over you, you are subject to whatever they got going on in their life. You are subject to deal with that same thing as well. But see, we don't listen as humans because we would rather somebody to think for us. And then we like, you know what? I kind of want to think for myself. And then people don't want to release that power. Okay. So that's some power right there. And so God said, won't you come to me and allow me to give you the wisdom? One moment. Because God will give us a word of knowledge, a word of wisdom for us to hold on to. He said, hold on to this and look for your confirmation. If you need a confirmation, let it come from your brook. And it's been 2 months and you heard the confirmation. It's time to get up from that brook. Because God is always talking. And maybe he already spoke it to the brook. And the brook don't want to say that because that word is too controversial. And they don't want to do that. Because they may be caught up in a situation where they want your tithes and they want your offering. And they scared that if they say certain things, you're going to walk out. But it's funny how we're told to do the word but they can choose what they want to do. Isn't that funny? Hmm. Allow God to lead at all times. Even if you looking and you like, God, something seems off. Go with that something seems off. We're in the season of going with something seems off. Go with that. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God, your name is higher than any name that is named on this earth or the universe. If it can be congregated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then if I think of something, you think of something, we try to tell each other. It's going to have a sentence. It's going to be paragraphs, which is sentences and punctuation. It's covered. There's nothing we can do. It's covered. You see how good this girl look right here? I just want to, hey girl, how you doing? Jehovah Jireh, my provider, there is no lack, only provision. You're more than enough and you supply all my needs. Okay, it may not look the way I thought it was going to look, but it's supplied. I'm worthy because I exist and I exist because I'm worthy. Honey, let's talk about it. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. That's James 1. Look, James 1, 3 through 5. Look at that right there. God is my source, not the things on the outside of me. God will use the people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below, not from the east, west, or the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. It's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is here and I'm over here and God said, come to me as you are, every time I get up and come to God, I'm changing my perspective. Every time you get up and you go to somebody, you're changing your perspective. Make sure that person is worth it. Jehovah Rapha, my healer, you heal my mind, my soul, my body, and my spirit. You heal so much of me. I did a workout this morning. It was nice. It was nice. Woo, God is good. And I stretched. Jehovah Gamoda, the God of the recompense. Ain't no getting even with people and arguing with them. Grown people know exactly what they did and they know what they said. Why are we wasting energy? Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator. Ask the Creator to cleanse and purify it. So you can send that energy back, that cleansed and purified energy back to the sender. Okay, cleanse and purified. No blocking their path, no stopping their path. No matter what they have done. Why? We got cause and effect, sowing and reaping and corresponding action, meaning everything is a seed, whether we see or do it or say it. I live under the law of assumption that is already worked out, and I don't have to stress about everything. And it doesn't require my response to my fight. I choose my battles properly, and I leave it in God's hands. I ain't fussing and stressing about that, and so it will be, and so to be, and forevermore. Some things are best left in God's hands. Because for you to have a headache about that, it ain't even worth it. No, Look in the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay. God is good and his mercy endures forever. What did that say right now? Page 99, strength. You're stronger than you think. I have placed nations on the inside of you. Don't be afraid to speak up and do what I told you. It's time to step into what I've called you to do. Ooh, I receive it, God. And in my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change, both of those are shadow activity books. Why do I call them that? Because the shadow workbooks that I saw, they had diagrams and everything like that, but nothing was for the inner child, and I need interactive stuff. My inner child, she need to do stuff. She need in the inner teenage, they gotta do stuff. So God said, well, make it. So I said, say less. So you get a word of knowledge, you get an exercise, it's fun, and have you doing so many things. You may have to hint, you may get an opportunity to do some hunts around your house looking for certain items. Okay. And then and then you also get shadow questions. Those are not so nice. They cause you to look at yourself. When you get tired of looking at the shadow questions, go over to the color page. God asked me to keep the color page between the age of 5 and 10. And he said, because most childhood wounding happens between 5 and 10. And by the age of 7, it is solidified. By the age of 10, it is really in the system. It can happen after the age of 10. But most of it happens between the age of 5 and 10. By the age of 21 and 25, you are considered an adult, and it's your responsibility to walk out of whatever's going on with you instead of blaming the adults in your life. And then the last thing you get is 4 pages of drawing and doodling and writing down your dreams, writing down your vision, whatever you want to do. Why? The closer you get to God, the closer you get with God, you start having them Stranger Things moments where it's too hard to explain to people. 10:10 on the clock. It's too hard to explain it to people unless they spiritual. If they're not spiritual, gonna take all day and you don't really have that breath time, okay? So you look at a billboard, you take a picture, you look down at the picture, and it's great. And you look back up, that ain't what's on your picture. And if you try to tell people like, you did that yourself, you made that up yourself, you did that whole design yourself, that ain't how that works. But with people that don't believe in spiritual stuff, they won't get it. You go outside and you look at a van or a truck go by and have exactly what you needed to hear. You take a picture. You look back, it ain't the same thing. You look on your email, it'll say, your subject line will say exactly what you needed to hear. And as soon as you see it, you like, what? And then you open it up and you read it, you're like, oh my gosh, I needed this today. Thank you, God. Because you asked God a question because you're looking for the answer and God said, just rest. Let me bring it to you. You said, okay. And God bring it to you. God bring it to you. He'll bring it to you right to your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Honey. And there's just so many other opportunities. God will use what he knows. I'm going to say they. Because God it could be a male or female, depending on you. Why? Because there is no sex in the spirit realm. Just putting that out there like that. So you ain't got to fight over that. Okay, my other two books are already on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. Go ahead and get your copy wherever books are sold. Because God don't care nothing about your background. He don't care nothing about that. Because when you get with God, your life starts changing and rearranging. God don't care nothing about that background. He knows all the hairs on your head. And if you don't have any hair on your head, you know the peach fuzz on your head. Notebooks and journals for all coloring books and helping meditate and recalibrating the mind. You'll see the link to the Women's Leveling Up, to the podcast for the Women's Leveling Up. It was great being there in the month of May. And then magazines I was in September, October, December, and January. I placed a new link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about the venture. Why? A lot of stuff is on Amazon, but my special journals, they help you walk out of the situation that you find yourself in. Those situations you saw me get in. Oh, I put that in some journals, honey. There are some freebies there just for you. I added a link of 105 spiritual laws. There's 7 in the Kabbalah book, the Initiate book, but it was 12 in another. I said, God, it's not an author confusion. Did some research. It is 105 spiritual laws. However, let's break it down. Even though it's 105 spiritual laws, we are no longer underneath the Mosaic law. We're under love and grace. When Jesus came here, you could say whether Jesus was an archetype. You could say whether Jesus was a prophet, whatever you want to say. For them to go through that much work to take out 54 books out of the Bible as if he was not here because it gave too many people too much power. If people would go through that much work, I'm going to say he was here. So then he gave us love and grace. Basically that means to put up a boundary. Boop. Now you to put up a boundary, you can love the unlovable. That means I put up a boundary because look, what happened to Judas? Judas got called out. Jesus called him out. And then what happened? You didn't hear about Judas no more in the story after he did what he did with Jesus. He was gone. You know why? Because he took himself out. But that means he's no longer in the story. So because he's no longer in the story, the people that did something to you ain't no longer in your story. Put them out. Okay, because you don't want him to get judged. Okay? At their less opportune time. Okay. So then you release them and you say, I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. Or I release you in love. And then the disciples asked Jesus, do I forgive my brother 7 times? Jesus said, 7 times 7. That's 490 times for the same indiscretion. But see, they on the outskirts of the town. So you can forgive them because they ain't nowhere near you. You see what I'm saying? But see, Jesus broke it down even more. He said, I forgive my debts. The Lord's Prayer. He said, forgive me on my debts as I forgive my debtors. So I'm forgiving myself. God, I forgive me. Lord, Renetta didn't know what she was doing. I was just following my ancestors. I was following what I seen done all my life. And now finding out that it ain't what he's supposed to be done. They following, listening to the people, the blind leading the blind, and I was just following along. And now I know different. And I don't hold myself in contempt for my decisions. I changed my mind and I ain't gonna beat myself up by what I didn't know. I just learned it today, and I'm going on from that today. And I forgive them. I'm not forgiving them for them, God. I'm forgiving them for me. Because if I stay in this position, the system and the enemy gonna get hold of me, and I'm gonna be stuck in utter darkness with his weeping and gnashing of teeth in that corner over there. Okay, that means now I'm in utter darkness. I'm in the shadow and can't get out because I won't do the needful thing, which is forgiving them. That's for me. Child, then I can go free. I'm free as a bird. Fly like a bird, 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 fly. Okay. And then go on about my business. Then there's grace. God's willingness to get involved with human affairs. That means God will reach down and grab you out of your situation like Jesus did Paul. Honey, I said, God, if I'm down here in a situation I can't get myself out because I'm in deep cover and I forgot what I was in here for, pull me up and get me out of there. God said, well, say less because I'm going to do it. I said, well, thank you for it. Just like we got 10 commandments, it's really 613 commandments. If you want to see them all, go ahead and get a copy of the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Chumash. Okay? Wherever books are sold, I'm pretty sure no matter where you go, people will buy it. Go ahead and order it for you because they want your business at their shop. Okay? Honey. And then God told the Israelites, there's no way possible you can keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life without me. They said, yes, we can. Us and our children. Wait a minute. I didn't ask to be in this. Then they took it even further. So it came time to execute Jesus. So they said, who you want to release? The king said, who you want to release? Barabbas or Jesus? Barabbas was a serial killer. Let's talk about Ted Bundy and Jack the Ripper. And they said, Barabbas. Honey. So that's who they released. Jesus did what he did, fixed everything, and then in 180 AD and 200 AD, they took 54 books out of the Bible. Right? Mm-hmm. Honey, when they took them 54 books out of the Bible, nobody was teaching it because they waited 180 years. So 180 in 200 years AD, that means after Jesus' death, that means now the people that knew everything that could orate it, they ain't there. And people ain't orating no more because now they slave. They just talking about what was or complaining of what is and staying in a cycle. You see what I'm saying? Staying in a cycle instead of being free. That's what we're doing now. Instead of staying in a cycle, we are getting free. Every day we're learning something new to break the chains of control. Okay. Because ignorance ain't bliss. No, it's not. Honey. And then the king said, well, what you want to do? And they said, well, the king said, well, I wash my hands up. They said, well, put it on us and our children. Wait a minute, I didn't ask for this. But see, the wonderful thing is this. Jesus took care of it and they came and took it out. But Jesus left us the thing to say, you got to believe his authority. And when you don't like something, you can open your mouth and say no. And once you say no, all of heaven is backing you up 100%. Just stay on your no and keep moving. It's going to take a minute and it's going to seem like it's taking forever, but it's really not. Because see, in the spirit realm, what you don't understand is better is one day in your court. Better is one day in your house than 1,000 elsewhere. So one day here is like 1,000 in the spirit realm. No, one day in the spirit realm is like 1,000 over here. Because there's no time in the spirit realm. There's no time or space there. We have time because God gave us time so we don't be stuck in the same situation forever. We are given the opportunity to change our minds. We know everything, but we don't know anything. Okay. This keeps us, because see, we know everything, but we don't know it until we open our mind and know it. This keeps us from attachments as we go through each level and lesson taught to me by Jesus, so an issue. That's everybody surrounded, okay? Because issue is a Orisha. Okay. There is, or, I can't, is it Oribo? Oribo? Okay. Don't forget about your adjective and your 400 values PDF. Put them together. And once you put them together, you change your whole Sims character. This jank mode of the game. You don't have to be who they said you are. You can change your whole thing. It ain't nothing but a simulation anyway. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Don't forget to go ahead and jump on with the school app with me. Come on over here and save me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who for 2025 and Women's Worldwide. Women's influential women for 2025 and Women's Worldwide. Okay, God was busy at the end of 2025 and I ain't blocked nothing. I said I am worthy and I receive it all because I put the work in and I'm not going to block nothing that I work for. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. And look what I received in 2017. I was helping women and teenage girls come out of sex trafficking, okay? I had a lot of help, but people left. And when people leave, you let them go. Okay, let them go. You know why you let them go? Let them go. Because the more you hold on to people, they will harm you. And you don't need nobody harming you while you rocking and rolling and doing what's best for you. Okay. Then I was helping young girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI and pregnant and their families kicked them out. And I said, nah, we're in the wrong state for that. So I was housing them wherever I was at because I had room in my building, or I sent them over to the teen centers and they could receive counseling and therapy and everything that they needed all in one place. And then I was assisting domestic violence on women that was having domestic violence because all that was angry men, was fearful men that was using anger to cover the fear. That's really what it was. And that little boy on the inside was acting a nut. And I was like, well, you don't need to stay around while they trying to heal. That is not your job. But we lost 2 women because they went back more than once. Everybody's addicted to something, so I don't judge nobody. People are addicted to weed, cigarettes, and they could be coughing up a lung and still smoking. And then people are addicted to working out, and people are addicted to going to the gym. So guess what? Everybody's addicted to something, and I don't judge nobody because everybody got to live their own life. And I don't know what's going on in their life, so I don't judge. Then I was helping people that lost everything in their house due to a fire, a flood, and because people was leaving to go out of state, they were just leaving to go in a new state. They were like, I'm gonna buy everything new. I'm just leaving everything behind. And I said, okay. And they was like, well, I'm gonna leave it to you because I know you got a nonprofit and that you can go ahead and assist people. And I said, well, okay. So I had to get a storage unit for all of that stuff because it was couches and beds and everything. So I had to get a storage unit for that. Honey, little did I know there was gonna be all these big fires on apartments. Honey, I had enough for 5 families. And that's what I did. I helped 5 families. I said, what do you need? I said, what do you need and how many rooms you need? I said, only get what you need because there's more people that's coming. I had clothes, I had shoes, I had everything. I was just filling a hole in it where I saw a hole in the community. The church was doing their part, but God told me to do this part. So I was doing my part, which was my own little ministry. Okay. Then I was helping, then this young lady saw me helping out so many people and I was always everywhere on social media. So she reached out and said, I need help for Thanksgiving. So I said, well, say less. So I went to Honey Baked Ham. That is my go-to. I went to Honey Baked Ham and catered Thanksgiving for her. And then I gave them $150 for groceries. So while she was looking for another job, she did not have to look for, she did not have to worry about groceries because she was a single mom. Then I helped, then she told me about more people that was getting ready to get laid off of their jobs. So I said, well, let me get the names. I got 2 names. Made sure their kids got 2 gifts for Christmas. And then I also went to Honey Baked Ham for them and catered it for them, but they had kids with special needs. So I had to make sure I didn't give them chicken or turkey and made sure I took care of that. And then I gave them $150 each. And then I also helped 2 women go to therapy for 2 to 3 months. For 3 to 6 months, and I gave them $250 or $150 for groceries so they wouldn't have to worry about that while they was in therapy. And you can see all of that on Refuge Women's Transition Center. Okay. I'm so glad that God said, whatever you do in the dark, I reward you in public. Okay. I didn't need all them likes and everybody doing all that stuff. I just put it on my website and kept it moving. Woo, 'cause the same people that like it today will be trying to stab you tomorrow. I'm just telling the truth. I love everybody. I promise you I do. But sometimes we can, as humans, we are very fickle and we change our minds so quickly. Okay. Don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use along with all natural remedies for the assistance of the diagnosis I received in 2017 of breast cancer. They told me I had 6 months to live. I didn't take none of that cancer treatment. I said, if I got 6 months, I'm going out my way. I just took all natural things out of my backyard, 100% silver shield. And for my dietary needs, I had a naturopathic doctor and I did a Dr. Sebi diet. And I just drilled in. You know what I'm saying? I just drilled in. I said, not I, said the cat. So the doctor was like, don't you sit? I said, I sit. But if I agree with that, I am gone. The minute that you agree with a diagnosis to take you up out of here, you gone. That's why a lot of people leave, because they agree with it and they bemoan the diagnosis and keep saying what they have. You can fight that in your head. That's scientifically proven. That if you say, I'm the healer, protecting my health, and you constantly fighting every day, that you will fight whatever's going on in your body when you start changing your mindset. So, honey, I told him, I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose, and I loose the hand of God. And I said, I take full responsibility for myself because I ate that food. Yes, they poisoned the food, but I didn't know that. I was eating food. Okay, I was going to the places eating the food. Okay, I was eating not so healthy food. Some of it I knew and some of it I didn't know. So I took full responsibility for myself and kept going. The doctor said, what you doing? I said, I'm putting my order in so when I come back and I don't have this no more. You know what happened. And came back with a testimony, none of it. Okay, so I went home. God said, call the naturopath. The doctor did it. And then pulled down everything that Dr. Sebi said, talk about anything being alkaline and loving yourself. When you love yourself, let me tell you what happens to your body. Your organs on the inside start changing. Do what you want to do to show love for yourself. I don't know what you do for you. I know what I do. Find out what yours is. Okay, honey. And then and then my naturopathic doctor said some of this on this list, 5 things on each side gonna have to come off because in your body, you are a particular blood type. And if you put these in, it's gonna cause acid. I said, well, say less because I'm trying to stay here. Honey, then my ancestors said go into the backyard to get that dandelion, get that morning glory, okay? Okay, that wild scallions, okay, because our ancestors lived off the land. And then get that poke salad. Poke salad look like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together. They sell it over here as cilantro. It has a nutty flavor to it. It's not like the regular cilantro. It has a nutty flavor to it. It is so good. Child, I clean it up and put it on top of that spinach underneath that jasmine rice. That jasmine rice wilted them greens, but it was still fresh. And that chlorophyll went into my body and cleansed me up. Matter of fact, I've been eating more chlorophyll. I got some more greens in there and been weighing them out, putting greens in every meal, breakfast, everything, putting it on everything. That chlorophyll is gonna go in and hit them inside. Okay, hit them up. Okay, child. And then and then I was putting zucchini, squash, and red onions. All that right there is cancer fighting agents. Okay, and then red, orange, and yellow bell peppers, honey. And I would add some seafood. Let me tell you, and it helped my nails, child. My nails are so much stronger. When I first got here, my nails was paper thin because I always putting all those chemicals on my nails. I said, we gonna just take a break for a minute and just let our nails be, child. Did an omega and was eating beets. I added beets back to my diet for the iron. Child, I've been doing so good. I'm thankful to God. Honey, and then that second month, she said, I'm going to need you to add some red meat twice a month. I don't care what it is, just red meat, because we need your white blood cells up. We need your hemoglobin up. We need your T cells up. We need to fight. We're fighting against something trying to take you up out of here. You do whatever you got to do. I did what I had to do, and I'm still here. Okay. And I did it all natural, right? No medicine. Okay. Psalms 91, 1 through 6, NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him. For he will rescue me from every trap, and did, and still does, and protect me from every deadly disease, and did, and still does. He will cover me with his feathers, and he will shelter me with his mighty wings. He is faithful to his promises. Let me tell you some of my God's promises. I don't care what people doing to you. God's promises are yes and amen every day of the week. There will be times where there will be a pause, and God will say, wait a minute, you see right up there at the street, right there, there's an intersection, and there's some trickery going on up there, so I'm going to take you the long route. And they going to think that you quit, but you ain't quit, you just going another route. And on this route, you're going to gain so much wisdom that you wouldn't have gained on the route that everybody else going. So you're going to go on the narrow way. And it's going to feel painful at times, but guess what? It's going to be all right. And I said, well, say less then. Every time I say less, I be looking at God like, really, dude? So my armor and my protection, because God will say, What's your dream? But your dream got to be big. It can't be no little dreams because God is a big God. Excuse me, confirmation word. Ooh, that was loud. Lord, forgive me. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the terrors of the night or the bullets that fly at day. Confirmation verb. I do not dread a disease that stalks in darkness. Why? Psalm 23 said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. My rod and staff shall comfort me. Woo! And my rod and staff. What? Who knew that my spine and shoulder to shoulder was my cross? Jesus said, pick up your cross daily and follow me. We ain't got no choice. Without your spine, you can't stand up. Honey, that's the parables. Jesus was good with them parables, wasn't he? And then it says, my cup runneth over. That is an overflow of abundance in all areas of your life if you choose. Don't block nothing coming. Block what don't fit for you. If it don't fit you, block it and say no thank you. And keep it moving. And it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Isaiah 53 says, God will send the angels to go before me to set asunder to make the crooked places straight. And God is always my rear guide. Why is God always my rear guide? Being goodness and mercy following me all the days of my life, making sure that my six don't nobody pop up on me thinking they gonna sneak attack me. God said, nah, I got the sneak attack. Okay, we just gonna say return to sender with cleansing and purifying energy and whatever. And King Solomon said, whatever you send from your house will return to you. Whatever you send out, good or bad, always comes back to you. It's always a boomerang. Alright? And it says, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I am the house of the Lord. As long as I'm staying here and I'm walking in the light, I am the house of the Lord. And when I leave this body and I'm in the house of the Lord. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. I want to say thank you to all of you that view my videos, and say thank you to all of my subscribers for your energy and that you share to come and listen to the message. I thank you so very much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Hand over heart. For the affirmation or however you choose to do it. I am not society's script. I am my own definition. I am not of the system, for the flame from God, source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. I let go of that attachment and I monitor use of my own energy. Okay. As I always say, if you don't monitor the use of your energy, somebody is going to see how wealthy you are on the inside and try to take it from you. Okay. The weather here is somewhat off. I know most people have snow and ice, but I'm on an island right now. And this island is usually hot, like on fire. But lately it's been raining and cold, like close to 60, under 60. This seems off, and I'm used to it being hot, not cold. Mother Gaia is truly having birth pains out here. Okay. Now I know why we're getting ready to have meteors to come into our atmosphere. And that explains a lot. That's why the weather has been a little weird. I woke up this morning singing and praying in tongues, and I said, we're gonna keep this. So most of the day I've been singing and praying in tongues. My dreams were so vivid, and they were about being vulnerable. Are we truly vulnerable with ourselves, if no one else? The book 4 and 5 Agreements talk about others treat us how they treat themselves, and be impeccable with your word. If you can't be impeccable with nobody else, be that with yourself. In this path, I've learned, once love is gone and disrespectful behavior shows up, it's time to roll out. How Optimus Prime say, Autobots, roll out. Okay, how do we treat ourselves is a direct correlation how we'll treat others. Where do you stand? Are you honest with yourself, or do you cut off your emotions because it hurts? I'm not beating nobody up because I did that. And I realized that's spiritual bypassing. And then it was going to come back strong. I said, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. If God show you something once and shows it to you again, don't say, oh, I already know this or I heard this before. God is giving grace because there was something that you didn't hear the first time. So don't cut off your emotions. Let them sit there. You know how strong you got to be to sit in those emotions and allow it to be. And people will say, you too sensitive, you too this, you too woke, you too this, and you too that. Let me tell you something. It takes everything on this earth to feel the emotions, to go into the darkness, and to see why that emotion is showing up. Everybody is not going to go into the darkness. And guess what? Everybody don't have that spiritual path. Some of us do. And when we go into that darkness, we come back with wisdom to help others. Only you know how to treat you. Who are you when no one is around? When nobody's around, are you still keeping your discipline up? Are you still doing what you say? Or are you just doing that for show on the video? How do you really feel? Are you tired? Are you happy? Are you content? Are you frustrated? Etc. Be honest with you, if nobody else, and allow the Godhead in you to lead you out to your true self. Where do you want to go and why? What's your biggest dreams and why? When you know your why, that is your strength arena that no one can stop when the outside world is completely in opposition of that. How have you been responding? Are you okay with that? Only you can answer this for yourself. Others can only assume, but you know the truth. The Bible reading today was Ecclesiastes 2. The minute we choose to gain wisdom is the day that we let our old self die off and we become our new self. And if you choose to remain in the darkness, you choose to not see what's on the other side. And the Quran today was the same thing, 4:27. For some odd reason, God won't let me lead it. Love and peace. Are you truly living there? Are you pretending? Are you only allowing them to read it aloud to you in the mosque and you don't read the Quran on your own? In the Bible, it says a workman is worthy of his hire, and to study to show yourself approved. Are you studying? Are you just being a parrot repeating what you hear? Go back and read some of these things, okay? Because I'm reading some of y'all stuff and I'm like, whoa, that's deep. And then I'm looking like, so why so many angry? Because love and peace is wholeness, nothing missing, nothing broken. Even if things are not great in your life, the Quran says love and peace. Are you living that? I'm not beating nobody up. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. And I'm on the outside looking in. Crown and third eye going off and other body sensations. I was hearing Glory to Your Name by Byron Cage. We magnify your name. You are the same. We worship and adore you. Angels bow before you. Do your name. We magnify your name. Look at that right there. Ooh! Glorify your name. Oh, God. And then this got me right here. Y'all don't understand. This one got me. If you a soprano and alto, you know this is one of the battling songs right here. Honey, I was hearing Oh How Excellent by Dr. Walt Whitman. Oh, how excellent is your name in all the earth, in all the earth. Oh, how excellent is your name. Woo! And I heard, express yourself. You gotta be me. Express yourself. I gotta do, baby. You gonna rock your body. Well, Sally wanna be like Bob. So remember, you ain't ready. Gen X, look it up. Lots of praying in tongues and humming songs My vagus nerve and body was at peace doing this, and I kept hearing, keep doing that. You're helping your nervous system. So I was just humming, and I wasn't humming anything in particular. I was just humming, and God was like, keep humming because you're helping your nervous system. I said, okay. I'm learning. I'm responding quicker to challenges that I used to bow to greatly. Now I stand up like, nope, that ain't for me. Deuces. I'm noticing how people have had, I'm just noticing, just paying attention, how many people have had a humiliation ritual and stood instead of folding. That's what you do. I choose courage and authenticity even in the midst of my body screaming in fear. I still kept walking forward with my body saying no, but my heart saying now. I'm operating by my intuition and trusting every step. Mistakes are okay. This is new, and I don't have to have all the answers right now. It will get better once I get into my flow. The system says, you're too sensitive. Nope. Life experiences says otherwise. What signals are you seeing? I choose myself today. No one above that. No matter how familiar they are to me. I'm more important. I let the chips fall where they may. If I don't let go, God will sever it. So I just let it go. And I'm like, God, did I let everything go? Cause God will come in and be like, with that, ooh, cause he'll send Archangel Michael and just say, kick, with that sword and just cut it. You just like, yeah, you know. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own time. It's hard when you love folks, but in their own time, and okay, let these people go, let them go. Telling the sword is coming. Just keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. I know you care for them, but what are they showing you? What are you seeing with these eyes right here? Pay attention. Some want to connect with you only when they feel you growing. And when they can't connect with you, that's when they start jabbing. That's why you get rid of them so they can't jab you. Okay. Let them go to learn their own lessons. They will hold you down for moving forward. Just let go. It'll be okay. God has you and them. Trust that. Everyone must work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Trusting God. Don't carry somebody else's battle. Read it for yourself. Philippians 2 and 12. Save yourself and keep going. Let me tell you something. Don't be fighting somebody else's battle. Because see, people are acting sanctimonious and don't have no God in them. How Jesus said, you say you got God in you, but he ain't nowhere near you because you are operating in your traditions. James 1:19-21 NLT, don't allow anyone to take your power nor your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. We must all be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness of God, but that righteous anger says we need to do something right now, and it'll start saying, okay, we're going to do this. You do your part, I'm going to do my part. Okay, let's go. So get rid of all that negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. I don't know what God told you, but I know what he told me. For it has the power to save your souls. Okay. No, just like the verses of Quran, that's what I'm saying. Are you really listening to this when you leave the mosque? 1753 and 4148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly and avoiding slander and speaking the truth. 254 emphasizes that it's not for creation that is under Allah to question Allah's decisions because Allah knows better. We do the same thing with God. It requires believers to surrender to Allah's will, which is the message of faith and surrender to divine authority. We all doing the same thing, so why are we fighting each other? If we take these labels off, we can see each other instead of fighting each other. Do we really know who we are? It's time that we get into our studies, whatever that's in. Pray, meditate, and find out who we really are so we can be so secure that when things come to steal our joy, we bounce back quicker every single time. Okay. Ain't no time to be sitting here losing it. And if you do lose it, don't beat yourself up. I'm still saying, you know why I'm still saying it? Because it's my birthright, it's my spiritual birthright, and it's my blood bought right. I am worthy of love. I am so worthy. You know why I'm worthy? Because the Bible says I'm worthy. The Quran says it too. You're worthy. I'm worthy of a life I love. Honey, if I don't love my life, I can take the adjective and and a 400 values PDF and change my whole sales character to this janky promoter game. I am worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. That is abundance in every area of my life if I choose to walk away from things that are no longer suiting me. Just because it's familiar don't mean it's good. I'm worthy of the dream that is in my heart. If it's right here in my heart, you best believe it's coming to pass 100%. I release the timelines that's no longer for me. Look, let's talk about it. I don't have no out, I don't have no anger, I don't have no bitterness, I don't have no strife, none of that. I don't have no animosity, none of that against you. You know why? You did what you did, and I believe you. I let you go to live your best life. I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you, and I pray you find your way on your path as you go forward. We no longer agree, so there's no reason to be connected. You go your way, and I'ma go mine. Honey, we are Abraham and Lot. You go that way, I'ma go that way. Amos said, two can only walk together if they agree, and we don't agree no more. Thank you so much for teaching me the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. I thank you for it. You taught me some stuff I didn't know. You taught me how to let go, and I thank you for it. And I release you. Glory be to God. And I release the timelines that require me to shrink. I will not be quiet. So I can shine. I will not be quiet so you can shine. The devil is a lie. I have my own mind and I'm going to use it too. I'm going to use my mind so you can go ahead and suck 15 toes because I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move and stillness. Stillness will show you how to be in so much peace to go forward. Honey, I walk forward lighter and clearer and deeply supported. I am never, do you hear me? I am never alone. I have my ancestors, my angels, and God. It is a threefold cord. It's not easily broken. I'm so secure in myself knowing if I'm walking by myself, I'm never truly alone. Because when my ancestors come out of them bushes, it's because of something that your ancestors did, and that's between you and your ancestors and my ancestors. I don't have nothing to do with that. That's outside of my wheelhouse. The angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up. It never fails. Every day they do something. They have me just crying and screaming. If you hear music, they just started having a party outside. I apologize. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Do you hear what I'm saying? Love has 101 million ways to show you. Are you listening? Are you receiving? People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said we don't usually do this. They just can't help it. I can't help it either. But if God say, my intuition say, and my ancestors say, I wish you would, my hands is up and I'm done. I have miracles every day and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm aligned. Let me tell you, when you get aligned with God, the things that come into your life, some stuff you didn't even ask for, but God just say, oh, remember that time you did it and I said I was going to take care of you and you just kept walking anyway with nothing, but this is just a little gift. I don't consent in any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself, untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burn. And I sever every cord of connection. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I am worthy. La 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 bun bun. I don't know where that came from. Okay. I am worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. Oh, we miss you. Ricky Valen, I think it was. Because if it's in here, it's coming to pass. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to fight for it. I don't have to fight you for it. I don't have to compete with you for it. If it's mine, it's tailor-made to my body and it'll fit and it'll come straight to my door. I am worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness at any moment. If I can look up here from a different perspective, I can change my life in seconds. I saw this somewhere. Woo! And I said, that's mine. All things come to me in perfect, mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. And if you win, I win. Because we all win. Let me tell you something. When we all grow together, man, because we are jointly connected. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent, that was taken, and stuff I don't even know that was gone. I'm winning the open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. I've been so intentional today. Just talking to myself and telling me how much I love me. I saw this on Google and I said, okay, Google, I'm going to take that and I'm going to add some more seasoning to it. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to the rightful owner, cleansed and purified, no matter where we originally met. Universe, world, timeline, or dimension, realm, space, dust, space, rock. I sever the cord of connection. The lessons have been learned and I release you to find your own way. Okay. I call all my energy fragments back to me. Now, honey, I am like Magneto. Come back, energy. Magnet for mine. I am free. I am free. I am free. I ain't got time for it. I now release all energies and traumas and patterns that aren't in alignment with my highest good and anything from my ancestors that's in there across all timelines, dimensions, and realms. My stuff is coming back to me where it belongs. Okay? I am free. I am free. I am free. What? I've been a lot of dimensions trying to get this. This is my stuff. I sit in peace while I trust the process and I don't rush the process. Can we wait when it gets silent, child? When it gets silent, the test is going on. I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts and series and books that bring transformation. Signature topic. Helping visionaries reconnect, reinvent, go through the rebirth process, rise with confidence. Because confidence, we need it. We're all visionaries with our own personal dreams. It's just we forgot about them surviving life and just trying to live. Okay, pull that dream out of the back seat, put it in the passenger seat. Go ahead and speak life into it. While you're at it, speak life into yourself. Speak over yourself. Come on here, Donna Lawrence. Teaching individuals how to return to themselves, quiet the noise on the inside, because you can't do nothing with the noise on the outside. Live boldly on your own terms. Like, don't be afraid to take a risk. Don't be afraid to come out of your comfort zone. Do it. Guiding through mindset shifts, emotional release, and soul level clear understanding. Helping all of us navigate reinvention, rebirth, setting boundaries, and rise into our purpose with confidence. Confidence is the missing substance to faith. Once you get that confidence, there ain't no stopping. Ain't no stopping now. Come on. Hi, my name is RenettaCheston, the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC, Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being for my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. I have a bachelor's and master's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend mental and public health. If we have a public health problem, we have a mental health problem, and vice versa. Massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner, where we pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tutor, and heavy metals. Human design practitioner, where we go back to the beginning, find your purpose, come back and look at that generational baggage and trauma and pull it out. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then my path would be different and probably would be a little standoffish until other people have done their work, because when people haven't done their work, they look at you like a puppy. But they know exactly what you're talking about. I ask myself uncomfortable questions every day to get out of old patterns. I do the work every day, and it's not always easy or pretty, but I wake up to confront the areas in me in love that need a facelift to go forward. What will you do? Are you sitting here and you doing the work on the outside, and on the inside you a cesspool? Or you just nasty to people? It's one thing to be nice nasty, but if you just nasty, what are you afraid of losing? Is it that once you see that colonialism and imperialism has played everybody, no matter what the color of your skin is, you won't know what to do if we're not fighting each other? See, Either your ancestors dealt the blow or your ancestors felt it. Look at history. How about we find ways to have conversations that cause a pause, to see things differently? This will cause us to quit blaming everybody else for our problems and see where the person in the mirror might truly have missed it. We can only meet people fully where we have met ourselves. Remember that next time you say you want a real relationship that requires a mask to come off and put it on the table and no longer bring your representative, but come to the table vulnerable and willing to change. And if you see disrespect at the table, what you do? You get up. You don't stay to that table if it's disrespectful. You can remain vulnerable and get up from that table and say, no, thank you. I'd rather not have this meal. We have many adults who were never taught how to feel safe, so they seek safety and validation on the outside of themselves because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. You know what happened, but you put on your representative to cover it, but it's still showing. There was something that my grandma used to say. She said, I'm not going to use the cuss words because she would use cuss words. Okay. She would say, your slip is showing and everybody can see your its. Okay, basically saying, what you trying to cover, you are not covering. Everybody can see it. But you are trying to fool yourself, and the only person you are fooling is you. Everybody else can see it. So, I ask you, what emotion from your childhood pushed you in a corner and made you vow to not never be? I hate them. I hate them. They abandoned me. She left me. She did. Your parents did the best they could. Most of the time, they was children raising children. They didn't know. And even when they became adults, they still didn't know how to get out. You know how they didn't know how to get out? Because they didn't have the bandwidth to say, okay, let me figure this out. They were just stuck in whatever they was taught. And most of us from Gen X, we just built different. Because we was built before the computer scene came on, and we were used to going outside and playing and coming up with games and using our imagination. So we know how to use our imagination and use the computers at the same time. So we know how to balance both of them. You see what I'm saying? So what vows are you making? Let me tell you something. Until you get rid of them vows, until you denounce every vow. I denounce every vow I said as a child, and I don't even remember God. Because that stuff brings up shadows. And those shadows, you get to face them before you can go any further. And it's not pretty. See, those vows are playing out on the big stage. A white man can't learn nothing from a black man. That came all the way from the 15th century, and you keep repeating it. And as long as you keep repeating it, you are keeping yourself in a pigeonhole when most of the FBAs on this planet have made everything that you have. And y'all keep saying, go back where you came from. Well, this is where we came from. How about you go back to where you came from? Because y'all came from Europe. Because if Columbus would have never came, you would have never been over here. Right. Because you settled in my home state, North Carolina. Over there by Cape Hatteras. Matter of fact, I grew up in that area. While we get to protest, okay, and speak our minds. Protest, yes, that's your right. Speak your mind. Are we helping that little girl and that little boy on the inside hill that was told that lie? Because you can learn something. In the 80s, we learned this. You can learn anything. You can learn anything from anybody, even a dummy. Remember that, them car accidents? You can learn, put your seatbelt on. That's your true shadow. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process of sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. See, God is on the inside of me. But before I could find God, child, I had to be like, why is that triggering you? Why is that hurting you? Why do you feel that way? See, we're taught that God is on the outside of us and the great by. That's a lie. But God is on the inside of us waiting to be tagged into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 says we're fighting, saying the same thing. We're fighting principalities, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Don't ever forget, we are spirit beings first. We are spirit beings first. We are spirit beings first. We live in a body. We are inhabiting in a body in this 3D RAM because it's dense, and if you don't have a body, you cannot be here. So you are not just this body, you are so much more. But because you have been in darkness for so long that you think that this is all there is, honey, there is a parallel realm right beside us. And honey, I step into that realm so much throughout the day and see stuff. And I try to explain it sometime, and God said, don't try to explain it. If they haven't had the experience, they're not going to get it. And I said, you're right. This is when all that negative thinking that has gone on for so long that is a norm. Racism, every ism. Because racism is a mental health problem. Because that's your problem. It's not mine. You using that. But once you take racism, you no longer have anything to make you feel big. Because once we take racism, that is what you use to make yourself feel big. And once we take it, what do you have? Nothing. Because most of you don't have an education. I'm not trying to be ugly or tease. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just stating the facts. Since we just stating facts and truth. I'm just stating. Even though the Moors came here and showed you how to take care of yourself, some of y'all still are operating on some of your European ancestry. And we smell it sometimes when you come around. Your skin should not be smelling like that. But hey, you don't use a towel or a sponge. You just use a soap that is putting dirt on top of skin. When you use something else, it allows those dead skin cells to come off your body. That's why we use those items. This is what every ascended master had to fight against. The tradition is making the word of no effect. The mindsets of us who complain but don't want to do the work or don't know how to do the work, and it causes a dip in morale because most don't know how to get out because it's ancestral and generational. And so you just keep going in this spiral. Well, my mama did it, my daddy do it. There's another way. So it requires you to get uncomfortable to get past the plateau of complacency or complicitness. No, you got to pick a side now. That's where we are now. Excuse me, confirmation bird. We are at a point. Things got to change, or you staying in the darkness. This is how we've always done it. This is how we always done it. That's a cop out. When are we going to respect each other? Yes, we know that the FBAs was here first. We got history from Smithsonian. We got it from the House. We got it from everywhere. We got it from the Library of Congress. We got so much documentation that has been stamped. We got so many things that have been stamped by the CIA and the FBI about what they did to the black community and why they did it. In the 70s and the 80s came in there with drugs on purpose to exterminate us. But we come from a resourceful people. Man, we also know that everyone's life is important. What are you willing to bring to life? Remember, if it hurts people, you're dealing with God. You're not dealing with people no more. Because God said you can build anything you want as long as it's not hurting yourself or other people. What do you really believe? It's time that you operate in it now. You can change the world with one thing you do that lights up the world and be your own superstar in your own life. Okay. Fight for the dream while hurting none. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks. Do what's right for you, because don't nobody live your life with you. You the only one to know your life. Don't listen to people talking to you from the outside. Be sovereign, but not controlled. Think for yourself. Critical thinking. If you protect those that can't protect themselves, do so. Bring your dream to life no matter what you see in front of you. Imaginate that sucker in here. May the force be with you as you, and I made up a word because imaginate is not a word, but we're going to do it. May the force be with you as you go forth in power, and the power of God be with you, whoever you call God, in your heart as you move. There are some freebies and a link to the podcast with the Women's Leveling Up that was done in May. Then magazines that I was covered in September, October, December, and January. Look in the description below to see a few things that'll light your life up and leave everything else behind. If you don't like it, leave it behind. You ain't got to receive it. I can't wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I place the new link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. You want to know something about some true intimacy? This is true intimacy. That one-on-one with God, because if you get your one-on-one right with God, let me tell you what happens. A one-on-one with people is easy once you get it with God. Because God will be like, that's not for you, let it go. And that's good when God say let it go, because that means you're not wasting your energy no more. Page 93, seek me. I have so much to tell you. You know our little secret place. There's always a secret place with God. You know the secret place. I'll meet you there. I'm waiting for our time together. I love you so much, and I enjoy our time together. God, I thank you, because we had a lot of time together. Today I wrote so much in my journal. It's just for me and God, okay? Let me tell you, in my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change, both of those are shadow workbooks. Why? Because I was looking at all the shadow workbooks and they didn't have anything for the inner child. Yes, they say they were about the inner child, but I didn't see anything that I could draw, play along, and do stuff like that. God said, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you have a word of knowledge that comes straight from the throne room, and then you get a question that allows you to have fun, and then some of them you may have to go find some items in the house, which is fun to see if you have them. And if you don't, it's okay. It's just a game, okay? Don't take it personally. I'm competitive too. All right. So, and then you have a shadow question. It's not so nice. It's going to cause you to look in the mirror of yourself. Man in the mirror, Michael Jackson. It's going to cause you to look in the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror and ask yourself some tough questions, things that you've been running from. Okay. Then you have and then you have a color page. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. It can happen after 10, but most of it happens then. By the age of 7, it is solidified in your system. By the age of 10, if nobody came and assist you, it is really in there. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now your responsibility to walk yourself out of that trauma or pattern. Okay? Because now you are considered an adult and you are acting like one. Because no one can tell you anything. All right? But we still love you. And then you have 4 pages, 22 chapters each book, sketching, drawing, doodling, write on your dreams, write on your visions, whatever you want to do, bring it to life. Honey, God is so good. Because the closer you get to God, you start having those experiences like Stranger Things or X-Files or Doctor Who, when things start happening and it's so synchronistic that you like, that is not, yeah, I'm not going to blow that off. And it'll cause you to write stuff in your journal, what happened today. Because I always write, oh, this happened today, this happened today, this happened today. Check it out. You see what happened today? Oh, this happened today. And I just be all over the place. I'm like, it is just, because God just don't do stuff. He show you stuff for a purpose. And don't forget about the other 2 books that I have already on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. No matter what your background, God don't care. You can pick up them books anywhere books are sold. God don't care nothing. God don't care about your background. You know what God care about? God care about what's in this head, not what's on it. God knows all the hairs on your head, and if you bald, God knows all the peach fuzz. Okay, notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. I'm excited about this venture. You know why? Because I got a lot of stuff on Amazon, but my special journals that help you walk out of the stuff and the seasons you've been in and your ancestors been in all your life. Don't forget the link to 105 spiritual laws. They're doing some work outside, so if you hear it, I do apologize. Don't forget, we're no longer underneath the laws. We're underneath love and grace. Okay, 2 new paradigms. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. You're going to want to know what's going on. Don't forget about your Adjective PDF and your 400 days PDF to change your whole Sims character to Jacob Promoter Game. Look at the new link for the school app. I got things started over there. Come and visit with me. I was just inducted into the new class of Who's Who of 2025, Influential Women of 2025, and Women's Worldwide. God was busy at the end of 2025, and I was receiving it because I was working. And I wasn't going to say, well, I'm not worthy because the devil is a lie. I am worthy. I have been working my butt off, honey. And I said, Come on, I receive it. And so, look at what I received in 2017. Honey, let me tell you. I was doing work with my nonprofit, Refuge Women's Transition Center, and I didn't think nobody was noticing because nobody was giving me hand claps and none of that. Nobody was giving me likes and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe it's just me and you guys. And God saw it. All right. So I was helping women and young girls come out of sex trafficking. I had a lot of people helping me, but I looked up and everybody was gone. When people don't leave, you let them go. I don't care what it is in your life that wants to go. You're going to cry, you're going to scream, do whatever you need to do to process the pain, but let it go. Do not hold on, because the thing you try to hold on to will turn into a stumbling block and stab you in the back. Don't do it. And then I was helping young girls that came out, the two groups of young girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI and pregnant, and their family said, you got to go. And I said, we're in the wrong state for that. So I put them in a teen center, or if I had room in the building when I was at, I let them come where I was at. Because mostly I was helping adults where I was at. And then I was helping domestic violence victims. We lost 2 women. Honey, I took the phone and said after this process you can do it, but before you give up in, delete that name and that phone number. Delete it. I'm watching. Give me the phone. We locked the phone up in a safe, and they received the phone afterwards. We gave them a burner phone. One of them little flip phones. Said just so you can connect with us. All right. Child, and we lost 2 women because they went back more than once. I don't judge anyone. Let me tell you why I don't judge anyone. Because everybody's addicted to something. We got people that's smoking weed, that smoke cigarettes, and they coughing up lungs and they still smoking. I don't judge them. That's their life they're doing. And then we got people that work out every day. They go to the gym, and they addicted to that. Everybody's addicted to something. I don't judge people, because the minute I judge them, gotta be like, oh, you want some of that? There it is, right there. I ain't got time for that. Honey. And so then I was helping people that lost everything in house fires and floods. And so because people knew I had a nonprofit, people were leaving the state, and they was like, we're going to start all the way over again. And I said, okay, cool. And they said, we're going to leave all our stuff here with you. And I was like, ooh, I need to get a storage unit because I can't put this in my house. So I had couches, I had beds, I had some of everything. People just giving me stuff. I had washers and dryers. Child, people just giving me stuff, so we're going to start over. I said, well, say less. I said, because I'm going to put it to use. They said we would give it to other people. We know they're going to sell it. And we need, and I said, well, say less. So people, we had some big apartment fires. So I had some of everything in there. So people would come and I would say, what do you need? And then I would say, how many rooms do you have? And they tell me, I said, only get what you need. Choose what you want, but only get what you need because there's more people coming. And they would get what they need. And then I would give them toiletry bags, and the women toiletry bags, and also a toiletry bag with fingernail polish and fingernail polish removal. Why? Because it was important to me. Even though they lost everything, it's important that a woman is still able to be pretty and sexy in her own eyes. Okay? Because it helps you change your mindset when you get there. Okay? It helps. We don't realize that, but all that stuff helps. All that stuff helps. You see what I'm saying? All that stuff helps. Okay, I had to cut on my lights because my light just went out. You know I keep my backups. You know I keep my backups with me, honey. Okay, there we go. So we still have some good fresh light. There we go. You can still see me. Good fresh light. Child, I was helping so many people. And then there was a young lady that reached out because she saw me all over social media helping all these people. But I would just put my name out that I was helping people. I didn't never put no pictures of people. I was just saying I'm helping people if people need assistance. I was getting like baby food and stuff like that. And I was like, but let me get rid of this because I need to get rid of that quick. So I would usually go up and say stuff like that. And she reached out and said, I need help for Thanksgiving. I can't provide Thanksgiving meal. I said, well, say less. I went to honey baked ham. That's my go-to. Got the honey baked ham and made sure she received $150 worth of groceries. Then she said there was some people that was getting ready to get laid off on a job. I pulled their name out. Boop. Found out that they had special needs kids. Made sure that the kids received 2 gifts each. Went to Honey Bay Camp, because that's my go-to, because that's my budget, because I was working alone. And I got them everything outside of the ham, okay? And then I gave them $150 each. And then I helped 2 women go to therapy for 3 to 6 months, and also gave them $150 or $250 worth of groceries. So while they were doing that, they didn't have to stress about nothing. Okay. And God said, I reward you what you do in private. I reward you in public. You don't have to show that to everybody. Now, you don't need all that fanfare. And I said, thank you, God. I'm so glad that God ain't like man. Man wants you to show them everything and give them and they ask you a question, why you doing that? It ain't none of your business. It really ain't. That's between me and God. Now go over there and sit in the corner. I'm thankful and grateful for everything. Don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off the first order. This is the company I use with all natural remedies for my assistance for the diagnosis of breast cancer. They told me I had 6 months to live. I ain't taking on that cancer treatment. I said, not I said it, dog. I took the stuff that was natural in my backyard, 100% silver shield. I had a naturopathic doctor. Sure did. And I went on a Dr. Sebi diet. So the doctor was like, you need to do this and this and this. Don't you see it? I said, I see it, but if I agree with it, I'm gone. That's what happens to people. They agree with it and then they start bemoaning it and then they gone. You don't agree with that. Because God said, He said, I'm the heal, protecting myself, my health. That is Isaiah 55. He said, by His stripes, we are healed. So I'm the heal, protecting my health from sickness and disease. And I said, I bind every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell from whence it came, and I loose the blood of Jesus, because hell ain't nothing but a frequency. But I send that frequency back where it came from. Okay, because it ain't him. All right, because I'm too joyful for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I said, I loose the hand of God, and I loose I loose the hand of God, and I loose the blood of Jesus. And I said, I take full responsibility for what I ate and what I did. They said, what you doing? I said, because I said, I'm taking full responsibility. I said, I'm putting my order in. So when I come back with my testimony, you know what happened and did. So I went home. God said, get the naturopathic doctor, did that. Pulled on the list that Dr. Sebi had about being alkaline. Pulled that list down. My naturopathic doctor said, that's great. However, 5 things on each side of this list we got to take off because it's going to turn the acid in your stomach. And we need to keep you alkaline as possible because your blood type. I said, well, say less because I'm trying to stay here by any means necessary. Okay, so then we took that off. And then my ancestors said, get that dandelion in the backyard, get that morning glory. That morning glory, get that wild scallion. Our ancestors lived off this because they was giving scraps. And now we call that soul food, and people are making lots of money off soul food. But back in the day, when our ancestors were living off it, it wasn't a jam back then. Because they were literally having to go into the backyard and come up with the stuff, and that's how I found out about it. Okay, you could go and pillaging in your backyard and come up with herbs that you didn't even know that was there. Honey, they got an app that shows you what the plant is so you can find out what it is. It's an herb and it'll tell you everything that you need to know. Honey, and then that post salad. Child post salad look like cilantro and lettuce had a baby together and it's serrated around the edges. I put that on top of that spinach underneath that jasmine rice. That jasmine rice wilted it, but it was still fresh, and child, that chlorophyll went in my system. I'm still got a lot of chlorophyll, a lot of green leafy vegetables in the refrigerator. Honey, and then eat it with every meal. Show do. Don't leave out not one time. And I'm finna start sweating. It done got hot. I'm finna start channeling. Honey, I done start getting hot and sweating. Look at that. Honey, child, I put some seafood with it because that omega-3 helps your nails and your skin and your bones. Child, I went and started buying fresh beets and cutting them up, put them in Ziploc bags put them in my smoothie, and pickle my own beets. Yes, honey, bake my own beets. Okay, because I bought some from the store, and I said, let's keep this jar. Let's see if we can make our own, but this right here has got too many chemicals in it. Let's make our own. It's fresh right here. Sure did. Say I didn't, but I did. Okay, honey. And then my naturopathic doctor said, we're going to need you to eat some red meat on the 2nd month. And I was like, well, she said, I know you don't want to do it, but we're going to need you to eat that red meat. I said, well, say less because I'm trying to say is she said we need to build up your hemoglobin. We need to build up your white blood cells. Because I went and I because see, the naturopathic doctor got this thing where you put your hand on like this and it scans your body. It tells your blood type. It tells what the water level is in your body, what you missing in the minerals you missing in your body, everything. It scans your whole body through your hands. Honey. And she said, we're going to need to build that up. I said, well, say less, because I'm trying to stay here by any means necessary. Child, and I'm still here. God is good, and His mercy endures forever. God, I thank you for it. I thank you for keeping me. I thank you for loving me. I thank you for holding me. I thank you for hugging me when I felt like I wasn't going to make it, when I was by myself and I didn't know if I was going to make it, and you was like, we got this. Father God, I even thank you for the boat whoopers. Let me tell you why. Because that means God didn't leave me over here as a reprobate mind, Romans 1. That reprobate mind means you out here by yourself, no covering. Ain't no God that got time for that. I ain't hard-headed, and I'm listening, God. I am listening. Do you hear what I'm saying? You honey, and then they said we were disenfranchised and we the minority. No, we not. They are. Okay. So that's why they keep beefing up their numbers with people from Alaska and the Native Americans and that are really from Siberia and cause they came here around about 1400, around 1400, 1600. And see, the lie been so long that they've been drinking the Kool-Aid. They are Native Americans because they've been here long enough. Because they made treaties with them, and then they first we made a treaty with them, and then they broke the treaty with us, and then they broke the treaty with them. Honey, and Asians and everybody else that's in there trying to assimilate, y'all made that group big, but that group is really small. Once y'all come off that group and quit saying y'all Caucasian, they the smallest group, and they know it. That's why they making all these laws to control their women. Remember, the person that can't control themselves is always trying to control somebody else. Because they scared to go look at that little girl and little boy. On the inside. Child. And then they said, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And we did. And then they came and took the boots. And God said, don't worry about it. Go over there. He said, and we were going, and we went to school with no shoes on. We were like, we still going to school. And what? Say we won't. We got thick skin. We gonna figure it out. And then God said, okay, go over there and get that bamboo tree and go ahead and make you some shoes. Or the next time you go over there and get you some animals, use that hide and make the shoes. Say less. That's what we gonna do. And make you some shoestrings. And then they said, wait a minute, we took everything and you still going. I came from people that knew how to survive off the land, honey. We ain't going nowhere. Child, we playing Space Hump and Uno with the worst cards and still winning. And if y'all will be wise, you will see how we are still winning and quit looking at us crazy. That's why they don't want y'all talking to us. If y'all ever talk to us, you will see how to survive everything that they throwing at you. That's why they don't want y'all talking to us. Because we have the whole kit caboodle. We got the book and we got the flight manual. Okay. They don't want y'all over here for that. Child, and I thank y'all for being here. I thank you for every subscriber. I thank you for every person that comes and shares your energy and hits a like button. I thank you for every person that comes and leaves a comment. I thank you for that. You hear me? I thank you for every comment, and I will be responding more. I thank you so much. I love you in the love of the Lord. You have a great evening. Good night.